So, Tonali.
Yeah.
The Spurs interview, he says, I decided to sign for Tottenham and I didn't need 2 teams, 3 teams or 4 teams in my mind. I knew already my team for next season and I can't wait to start the season and to play the first game. Every time when you change team, you have to restart everything. You have to restart your relationship with the teammates, the staff, and the fans. But I'm a bit lucky because, you know, the staff is more easy for you, especially at the start of the season and the summer. He's an unbelievable gaffer. I've known him for a long time. He's from Brescia. I played Brescia in 10 years. I played 10 years in Brescia. Sometimes we meet in Brescia when we have a day off or two. We come back both in our city, and I think this is fantastic. I spoke with him for the first time. We spoke like friends and we spoke like players and gaffer already. This chat was close to magic because it was like, okay, now I have to sign for you for sure. Like magic. Bit of stardust with De Zerbi in that chat.
Sparks are flying when Tonali and De Zerbi were having their chats.
We spoke a lot really about Tottenham, the stadium and the fans, and about the players and about our football. We can't wait to start the season. Talking about, Tonali admitted his switch to North London has him feeling like a kid again. He says, the morning at 6 a.m. I woke up like a Tottenham player. When we came here this morning, the feeling was fantastic. It was like when I was 16 or 17 and I played my first game. It was very similar. I was like a kid with energy inside. I think it's all positive things, especially for football, especially because I'm 26 now. I'm not 18 years of age. On his playing style, I think I work a lot for my teammates. If I had to describe me in one sentence, I play number 6 and I play a lot with the defence. That's interesting.
I love, by the way, what he was saying about feeling like a kid again, and he's so excited to play for Tottenham. Yeah. Wait till Tottenham grinds you down.
Oh, yeah, exactly. A lot of players have felt that as well before they actually start. He says on playing Newcastle, the second game of the season, he says, we play the second game against Newcastle. Really, I can't wait to play this game, and I can't wait to play in this other stadium because I played a few times against Tottenham with AC Milan in the Champions League and with Newcastle. I found the great atmosphere. I found every time this full stadium, that's not easy because the stadium is so big. The fans can change the game in 2 minutes. If the fans work with you, it's more easy for you. So I think the fans are one of the best things in the stadium. I know the stadium is one of the best in the world. The fans are crazy. We need this because we need to put every time 100% concentration and everything on the pitch because we want to win every single game, especially home games, and I know we can. But I think the most important, most eye-catching quotes there. First of all, he's so it's interesting. He describes himself as a number 6.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been saying, you know, he's definitely more of a number. Well, he's more of a number 8. He's like a lung-busting midfielder. He's not one who's going to sit and dictate play, but he sees himself. I guess he didn't necessarily say he's going to be one who's going to sit and dictate play, but he says I play number 6 and I play a lot with the defence, which I find interesting.
That is interesting, and there's also, you know, Nicky coming and saying Matheus Fernandes' best position is in the 6 as well. So,
and also he says that off the back of having those conversations with De Zerbi, which I'm sure they spoke about where they see him fitting in. So I don't think he would say, oh, I'm a number 6 if De Zerbi told him he was going to be like a number 8, you know what I mean? If they have those discussions and you know, that he is like talking about where he thinks he's going to play, I don't think Tonali then goes out and says, yeah, I'm actually number 6 when we've had all these discussions that he's going to be a bit further forward. So I think that's quite interesting. About where we see him fitting in, and I think when it comes to De Zerbi ball, they do kind of rotate anyway. Kind of, there's, you know, sometimes Fernandes will go, sometimes Tonali. They kind of, the way they build up, it's kind of, they take it turns, it's very fluid. So I don't think he's going to be stuck to one position, but I find that interesting. And obviously, him talking about the magic he had with De Zerbi in that 2-hour conversation. He said after that conversation, he decided for sure, I'm going to sign with you, I'm going to play with you. They've been friends. He said they've known each other a long, long time. So that obviously relationship really, really helped. But that was a crucial thing in getting Tonali over the line.
Well, you know, after that phone call with De Zerbi, you know, Arteta's calling, Maresca's calling, just didn't have the magic. I think after that quote, we might need to reincarnate the old Poch song for De Zerbi. You know, maybe De Zerbi's his magic. You know,
absolutely.
Roberto De Zerbi.
He is magic, incredible. So. Yeah, I mean, very interesting quotes there from Sandro Tonali. And I'm just buzzing. Our brand new record signing, which we've broken twice in one window. It's a monument. It's actually a massive day for the club today. Getting our first, I guess you can call him £100 million player with add-ons. So our first £100 million player, considering the fact that we never really thought we would sign someone of that kind of level, ever. Even it was only a year ago, or sorry, maybe it was 2 years ago, where Ange was saying, these players, these clubs sign players for 100 million. We're never going to do that.
It was a few months ago, wasn't it? Oh, I'm talking about his overlap interviews.
Not that one. No, when he was manager of Tottenham, when he said, we're never going to spend 100 million on a player. He admitted that. And yet here we are 2 years later spending £100 million on a player. Yeah. So it's a massive step for the club. It's a massive moment. It's a massive signing as well. And wow.
For a massive club.
For a massive club.
Sleeping giant has awoken. Tottenham Hotspur on their way back to the big time. And Sandro Tonali, just to see someone of Sandro Tonali's stature, what he's done so far, for Newcastle, for Milan, and just hear him, how he speaks about Tottenham and how he speaks about our manager and how giddy he is and happy he is to be here. It's just phenomenal, isn't it?
And it's mad. I understand, he's getting well paid and, the money's probably a big element to it. Reportedly 250 grand a week, rising to 280 if we do get Champions League. So we are smashing our wage structure for him. But to hear him talk like this about signing for Tottenham, it's just blown my mind. You would have thought that he's come here just for, if he was going to get him in, it would just be for a payday. It would just be, just for the money because we're offering a higher wage pack. And obviously that's an element. But the way he speaks about De Zerbi, the way he speaks about that childlike giddiness to join Tottenham, when he's already been at a big club like Newcastle, challenging for Champions League, challenging, they were had within their own right. They were doing quite well and they were challenging at the top of the table. So he's already been at a big club, yet when he looked at Tottenham and he looked at what we offer, AC Milan as well, massive club as well. So when you look, did he win this? I'm guessing he won the Scudetto there as well. So having played at such big clubs, and he looks at Tottenham with a childlike giddiness, it just blows my mind. We've able to get that out of him, but that's all down to I think how his excitement of playing under De Zerbi. I think
it's the first time that we've bought a Champions League ready player that's played in the Champions League for multiple clubs, in playing at the prime of his career, 26 years of age. I just can't remember a signing of this stature that we've made before. I don't think we have.
I'm trying to think. Probably not.
This has got to be, I know on money, but if you take the money out of it and just look at the player, this has got to be Spurs' biggest signing in the Premier League era. Maybe barring Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah, I guess we had Van der Vaart, but he was obviously a bit different.
Van der Vaart was also past his peak.
I think he was at his peak when we signed him, to be honest. I think he was 28. I think we had 2 years of his peak, and then he really dipped after. But it was different because he was out in the cold at Madrid. He was unwanted, so it was an easy deal to do. In terms of a player who was crucial to their team, of that quality at a big club as well, which was pretty hard to get out of. I think when you consider all those factors, I guess you got Xavi, but Xavi is at Leipzig, is a bit different, although he was quite highly sought after. Madison, different as well. Leicester wasn't. They were in. They're relegated as well. I guess in terms of the quality of player, I wouldn't say he's the best quality player we've ever signed, I guess. I don't know if I would say that. But is he, in terms of those factors you're talking about, one of the best midfielders in the Prem, big club, Champions League regular experience, Champions League quality, that kind of money? It's probably the most significant signing we've ever made.
Significant for sure, because we've never gone to a Premier League club, a particularly Premier League club that sees themselves on a level footing with us. Maybe we would go to Forest for Brennan Johnson, or we would go to a Palace or a team down there. But we would never go to a team that see themselves on a level playing field and go, you know what, let's slap 100 million down and
take your best player.
You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen to Tottenham.
Exactly. It's like we've done what Bayern do to Dortmund or something. It's crazy.
What Bayern do to Dortmund, what City can do to other teams, what Manchester United, Alex Ferguson made a career out of that, didn't he? Every summer he would make a statement signing, and a lot of the times it would be one of the best players in the Premier League outside of Manchester United.
Yeah, and it just I think this is just case in point and real proof for anyone in doubt. The bigger clubs, when people say you're not part of the big six and all that kind of stuff, like I think that move confirms that we are, because Villa and Newcastle, even if they had the money, I don't know if they could do it, but they don't have the money. Obviously, they can't do deals like that. They wouldn't be able to come to us and get our best player. Not a chance in hell. It just wouldn't happen. But yet we can go to Newcastle and go and get one of their best players.
Yeah. It's also worth noting, by the way, on a completely separate thing, on Mateus Fernandes. We were talking the other day about what we think his wage is going to be, and Paul O'Keefe confirmed his wage is going to be 175 grand a week.
Okay.
So, I was thinking, like, if you're giving him over 200 grand, that is a bit much for a 21-year-old with, there's not much progression there. But at 175, I think that's decent. I think he comes in as our third highest paid player at the club. I
mean, considering he's 21, it's still on the steep side. I think United were willing to go 150, but then you had to beat United, didn't we? So we did 175. I'm not saying I'm not happy with it. I'm just saying I think in general, a 21-year-old with a couple good years, I think 150 is probably the optimal kind of level there. Maybe even less, maybe not 120 really. But considering we spent so much money on him, we had so much competition, you got to do what you got to do. So 175, that's it.
Just saying, because we were talking about it when we signed him. And you were saying, like, we were talking about crazy figures. We were
200,
talking about 200, 250, these kind of figures. But 175 is, it seems a bit more right.
So we've already broken our wage structure for one player so far.
Yeah.
And that's Tonali at 250 at the moment. So I wonder, is that because we're, if we lose Romero, that's one of our top paid.
He's on 200,
He's on 200. Dragosino reportedly was on 85, which is madness. So he's gone. So all of a sudden, even though we got Tonali there, like we've still got getting a lot of wage off the book. So we could even stretch out further if we wanted to. I wonder what Leao would be on. What is he on?
Let's have a look.
If we were to sign Leao, because I'm guessing he would be on a big wages. Maybe we would match him with Tonali.
So Rafael Leao is currently on, not that much, 123,000 euros a week.
So you'd say you get that to at least 200, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You'd think so.
If we signed him.
He's on about 100 grand a week in terms of pounds.
So I guess my question would be: do you see us signing anyone this summer who's going to be even more than Tonali in wages?
I don't. No, I don't, because I think all the players that we're rumoured with, I don't think will touch what Tonali's earning. I think you're looking at, like we said, Leao. I don't think he goes to as much as 250. You're looking at a Krupi. He doesn't go to as much as 250.
If we actually could get a deal for Yildiz, he would probably be that, wouldn't he?
Maybe, but he's also like pretty young. 21 years of age. So,
but he would only come, like, he really wants to stay at Juve. So I feel like he would only come if
I think the wages are big. Just a pipe dream, though.
I agree. I'm just saying that's my point. Like, he would only come if it's ridiculous financials. You know what I mean? For both Juve and for him, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why I think if Yildiz was to get done, I think he would be similar. Yeah, Krupi wouldn't be 250, I don't think.
Krupi will be like 100.
Mamouche, I think Mamouche is on quite a lot.
Mamouche possibly, because Mamouche is coming from City, who just signed him on big wages.
Obviously, if there was, I know there's been no mention of it really, but if there was any deal for Osimhen, he would probably be on more than that.
Yeah.
People saying Rashford, I guess he would probably be on similar if we were to get him over the line. But it's possible that going up to 250 might be where we're at the moment. Like, obviously, you got improved contracts for Van de Ven and maybe whoever else signs another contract. But
maybe if we would like to bring in like a Vlahovic or something, he would probably be something.
Because he's on big wages. Yeah, he's on big wages.
Who are we talking about? Juventus.
Yildiz.
Oh, Yildiz. What's he on?
Says they're 56 grand.
Yeah. So he's not on much, but he's a young player. These young players, you don't put young players straight away on those massive wages.
I agree. I'm just saying, to get Yildiz in, you might have to.
But even if you bring Yildiz in, if he's only 50, you give him 150. You know what I mean? Like, there's still a massive pay
Tripled
rise.
his wage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And then, you know, if he smashes it, you know, in 2 years, in a year and a half, you probably up that wage. You know, you need to give them room to grow. You can't just whack them straight on the top salary.
So if we're talking about when it comes to Tottenham and increasing the wage structure, we're talking about only increasing it by 50k. Is that enough? Are we happy with that? If that's what case is?
It's not essentially just about how much it's being upped by. It's about who we can get in. Like,
yeah.
If we're going to miss out on, the point is, I don't think we're going to be missing out on a player because of wages anymore. And that's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter about how much we're upping it or how many players we got on this or how many players we got on that. Before, we were missing out on players because we couldn't attract the players because of the wages that we were paying. That's not a case anymore.
Yeah. And I don't think upping it to 300, let's say, I don't think it is limited to 250. I just think Tonali is going to be our highest paid player because we're not in for anyone who would be on more. Like, if we upped it to 300, let's say, like, who does that mean we can attract someone else? Who would we attract if we upped it to 300? I don't know. Compared to 250, you know what I mean? What's the difference, really?
Yeah.
So
I think Spurs would pay 300
that's
if the
what
right
I'm saying.
player was available. Yeah.
All right. So, well, very interesting stuff going on at Tottenham. But yeah, looks like we know the wage structure has been smashed, and it's going to be very interesting to see if Tonali is going to be our highest paid player by the end of the window.
Yeah, absolutely. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.